All right, so we got an interesting matchup here. We got Eric on the left on Rhinos and Devin on the right on Timeless Amulet. Devin, a crusher, regular on the RCQ circuit and so on around here.
I lost to Devin at an RCQ several months ago where he was playing the Yorian Elementals deck and I was playing Eldrazi Tron, which is an unwinnable matchup, but I did lose in top 8, so let the record show that I top 8'd with E-Tron.
Nice.
Yeah. I got Charmod multiple times in that game. It was great.
Yeah, Charmod's a pretty nice addition.
Yeah.
So he's playing apparently Timeless Amulet, which is I watched Aspiring. Is this Aspiring Spike Brew?
Is everyone familiar with Aspiring Spike? Everybody knows who that is.
He's a famous modern streamer. All right, we see Force Negation on Amulet Vigor, but Devin, being the skilled magician that he is, has a backup in hand. I think what Devin was actually missing is a bounce land in his hand, which I think he top decked. So yeah, I think this deck is super sweet. It's basically like the Amulet Titan shell, but you're not playing Primeval Titan, so you can play Gigantha as a companion, among other things. But the actual interaction here is Amulet plus Timeless Lotus, which is a new card. It's a mana rock that taps for 5 and ETB is tapped.
Taps for Wooburg.
Correct.
Yeah. I see also the horrible Secret Lair Karns in Devin's
Love
hand.
those.
Yeah.
Love those.
Yeah. I do love a good Karn deck.
All right, we're going to cast an Explore. So free cycle, basically. All right, so that Mycosynth Gardens represents another amulet if we want it. We can also play the Boseiju and Stirrings. Interesting. Let's see what he decides to do here. This is a pretty complicated deck to play. I don't know if I want to play it in paper because there's a lot of you get to this point where you float a lot of mana and you have like additional land drops to track. You also have to track like which cards you spin into with Golos and which ones you spin into with Escape to the Wilds. And there's a lot of like things that are like trivial in Magic Online that are not so trivial to track in paper, I think. But it is a super sweet deck, and hopefully we'll get to see it do its thing.
Yeah. You know what else is sweet? Making 8 power in top 3.
Yeah. Sweet would be one way to describe that.
I am not. Well, anyway, let's be impartial as commentators here. It is a thing you can do anyway.
It's a thing many people are doing.
Yes, constantly. They
Constantly.
never stop doing it.
They never stop. It's just the modern experience.
Yeah.
I do like Eric's Steam vents here. He's got the un-Steam vents with the space art, which is pretty cool.
They're Steam events.
Yeah.
I played Eric a while back. He had taken a break from Magic, it seemed, and had come back and was playing an Is It Breach deck, but not the one you think. There was Through the Breach and Emrakul in his deck. But it was very good. A very good joke when he told me he was playing Is It Breach.
I think I played against him on that deck as well.
Yeah. But that's not what he's playing today. Do I Rhinos now or do I Rhinos later?
He might be. So this is a legitimate. So what could happen here is he could have like a Brazen Borrower for this amulet and be thinking, if I respond to the copy, it's going to buy me a lot of time, which is true. He's going to be able to fizzle the copy activation on the Mycosynth Gardens.
Right. Devin contemplating that possibility.
Devin might be okay with that happening because it kind of time walks Eric also.
Yeah, it is Stone Rain and Time Walk for Devin in this case, but.
I don't think it really does anything if I interact because you still.
Eric's trying to walk it through if.
Because if I bounce it in response to you targeting it, it still remembers. You gotta call it just there. Yeah. The actual answer is no. You'll fizzle the ability. Okay.
Devin, helpful on a Monday Night Magic.
Okay. That's what I was planning on doing.
And there we have it, the line you were talking about, bouncing the amulet. So Gardens doesn't actually.
It stays as the land. Yeah. So it's not like a Stone Rain. Yeah.
Makes sense.
All right. So he's going to play Besage and recast the amulet.
Right.
So yeah, they both effectively time walked. I think this exchange is still fine for Devin, from his
Just
perspective,
making more land
because he
drops.
just gets to make a land drop basically.
Sure.
Only a little worried.
And there's a Shardless Agent in Eric's hand.
I'll take the second damage.
I saw a cool old border Ancient Stirrings in Devin's. And still those 2 Karns from the opening 7.
So this is funny. Also, I should point out, like, if you're not up to date with Aspiring Spike's various crazy brews, you see this opening and you think to yourself, "Oh, my opponent's playing Amulet Titan." But then you see Gigantha as a companion, and you know, a lot of times people will like not even think about that, but it means that Primeval Titan is not in Devin's deck.
Right.
So I think that's pretty funny. There's like even like some like leverage you can get from like people seeing Gigantha and assuming you're playing something interactive, and then you just, you know, because most Gigantha decks are like Jund or Breach or something,
Right.
where it has like some interaction, and then you just amulet them. So that's, I think, another pretty I don't know, almost like subtle and underrated aspect of this deck, which is kind of funny.
The companion head games are a really interesting thing,
Yeah.
honestly. Whether it is, you know, the fake out in games 2 and 3, or, you know, leading your opponent to believe you're playing something, or you are the opponent, sort of with pre-game information about what's in your opponent's deck. There are downsides to playing companions, but you know, Aspiring Spike is a very big Gigantha enthusiast.
Yeah.
So I think Gigantha goes into pretty much anything that can conceivably run it.
And Devin shuffling through the sideboard here, trying to think about what you want to do with his Karn activation
This
if he
is when
goes
I tell
around.
people to ignore me looking at my sideboard. With an
Not telegraphing anything at all.
An unresolved Karn in hand.
Devin has a lot of time here, because even next turn, like, he's only taking 10, so he still gets a whole another turn.
Ratchet Bomb is an interesting get off of Karn here. If he's interested in that. Probably more interested in winning the game.
Right. Okay, so I think we should add the way this deck wins the game is the best part, right? So generally,
winning the game is good. Sorry to
yes,
interrupt.
but the way this deck specifically wins.
How comes it'll play untapped? What are you doing?
So he has Door to Nothingness in his sideboard, and that may seem like a meme, but I have seen Aspiring Spike. I've watched like basically all the YouTube videos of him playing this deck, and I've seen him turn 3 people with Door to Nothingness like almost every round. Like,
Yeah.
it's actually crazy.
Take 2 amulets.
Yeah.
And you're good.
It takes 2 amulets. So it takes exactly, if you have none of the
untap,
Karn in
yeah.
play, it takes 19 mana. So that seems like a lot, but it
No,
comes
yeah.
up. It'll come up. All right, so we've got triple amulet now. So now each bounce line represents 6. All right, we're thinking about crack. I don't know if there's anything we can draw.
Yeah.
Go ahead, actually. I changed my mind. Yep.
All right, so we got.
It's going to be 3 red, 3 green.
All right,
Here comes the Primeval Titan. Psych.
I think because you have a backup bounce land, it's fine to just pick up the Beseju here.
Green, Mox Ruby, and Emeralds. Yeah, very good point. We're going to need these.
Yeah, this is what I was alluding to earlier. We might.
And then
Did we not have 3 of each? Or has
Well, he's still got the
Okay.
thing in play,
Gotcha.
so yeah, technically, he's keeping it in play instead of bouncing it.
Gotcha.
this is green. Go to 1 floating, cast a card. Okay. Yeah, so it's a bit confusing.
All right, so this is interesting. What are we getting with Karn now?
So Karn, 2 more Karns in hand.
Yeah, he might just get something that answers the Rhinos.
Now, interesting, Devin with the companion token in his sideboard, but not using it in the match. Interesting.
Interesting. Yeah, it looks like we're eyeing the Ratchet Bomb, which makes sense to me.
Yeah.
It's going to buy you quite a bit of time, especially when you have double Karn in hand still.
Yeah. That F&M promo, Ratchet Bomb. That's a good one.
Yeah, it's got that Wooburg
Mm-hmm.
foil stamp.
On brand for the deck.
Yeah.
Aesthetics, the most important part of what you're doing with your deck.
All right, so now we kind of can't. If we have Violent Outbursts on Eric's side, we can't really do it because we're just playing into the Ratchet Bomb.
I mean, it's a pretty powerful play.
Why does Portland Paper only do this one event? It's more a logistics issue of commentary. We would consider doing Fridays, possibly. We would have to make a whole new song, of course.
The biggest roadblock.
The biggest-
If anyone would like to volunteer as catchy a tune as the Modern Monday one, then,
for FNM. Then,
yeah, then you're welcome to do so, and maybe that would motivate us to do a second weekly stream.
right.
Let me ask Fog Fanatic, would you watch an FNM stream, or would you be busy playing Magic at FNM?
Right. Other point to consider.
Yeah.
All right. So I think Eric is going to be able to clear the Karn, regardless of what Devin does. Of course, Eric doesn't know that there's 2 more backup Karns just waiting in the wings there.
Yeah.
Horn starts at 5, right? Correct. Okay. I'm at 10. Do I care if you tutor a second time?
Probably, to answer Eric's question. We have Fire Ice, Caverns,
And Otawara.
Otawara is kind of interesting.
Yeah, we can bounce an amulet. I don't know. It doesn't seem super.
Yeah. Not at this point in the game, but like.
Oh,
later
he can
on.
even make a construct here, which is.
Well, the borrower still gets in for 3, but.
Which actually, if you make your opponent lose the game twice in game 1, you win the match.
All right, Devin talking about how if you get door to nothingness with Karn and you untap it, you can make them lose both game 1 and the post sport game in one shot. We'll have to call a judge on that to be sure, but that sounds legit to me.
That sounds right. That
Yeah,
sounds right.
Yeah.
It says you lose the game, and it says it twice.
Right.
so.
Right.
Chat saying you would try to play Guardian if you streamed on Fridays. We will pass that along to the powers that be. Unfortunately, we are mere pawns in this game.
Right.
So we got Shardless Agent headed at Karn, Borrower face, Rhino's face.
All right.
So that's true. You can't both make a construct.
And
oh no, you can't.
well, I
actually.
guess now you could. Yeah, but I guess you get to save your Karn
Right,
with this.
which is a 4/4. So it just munches this Shardless Agent, unless
Yeah, he has
Fire Ice,
Yeah,
yeah.
you could ice it. It is a
it still
4/4.
doesn't kill Karn though. It just puts Karn to 1.
That's true. And all of this is treading water because we know there's 2 more cards in hand.
Right.
But
Yeah,
but Eric doesn't know that.
you do get to draw a card.
Are you
off
strictly
Fire Ice.
bound to doing it at Guardian events? No, I don't think so. They've actually streamed at Portland Game Store before.
And way back in the day, they did
Yeah.
it somewhere else as well. But yeah.
All right, that's a
Chapter 3, I will float a colorless. Do you have
Do you have? Is there a colorless Mox? Mox? No.
Devin getting bailed out by his opponent here on the
I'm keeping track of Storm.
on the mana counters. Eric's saying that he's keeping track of Storm for Devin.
Storm count is still 0 this turn.
Somehow weather the storm here.
Nope, still 0.
All right, we might see Escape to the Wilds this turn. We might just see Karn. Let's see. All right, so a bounce line represents 8 mana.
Can you get the blue one out, please? Thank you very much. You're a gentleman and a scholar.
That's true. Thank you, Eric, for
Yeah.
accommodating the stream and your opponent.
Eventually, but not for the moment. So 4 amulets.
I think Eric may be looking for a win condition right now. Looks like Devin's going to accommodate him here fairly shortly.
All right, he's out of dice. Come on, Devin.
I have more dice.
There we go.
Should be okay. So 1 red, 1 green. Bounce the girl turret.
All right, so Escape to the Wilds is also an Explorer, worth pointing out.
Escape to the wilds.
5 mana Explorer.
Yeah.
Eldraine. Messed up set.
Messed up set.
Messed up
Which is
set.
more messed up, Eldraine or Modern Horizons 2?
It's a good question.
It's-
it's like not.
it's pretty close.
It's not
It's-
an easy answer.
Yeah, yeah.
honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty comparable.
Yeah, they're pretty comparable. All right, we found a Golos, so that represents. All right, well, I guess we can do some more.
D-Voice Gaming, that is the correct answer, but it's not the fun answer.
I don't know. Have you read Mystic Sanctuary
Have you
or
read
Oko Thief of
Crowns?
Crowns?
Yeah. Alternatively, Gingerbread Cabin,
Yeah.
also quite good.
Yeah, Dwarven Mine, yeah.
facilitating the best deck in the format right
Yeah.
now. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. Not to
Yeah.
mention Questing Beast.
Yeah. Saga target Ginger Brute.
Yeah.
Very powerful. No, there's a lot of powerful stuff in Eldraine that people
There
forget
is.
about.
Yeah. I'm sure Pauper players have a lot to say about Eldraine as well.
Yeah.
There's Lotus.
All right, there's the Timeless Lotus. That's going to make us 20 mana because we have 4 amulets.
Here, you have 4. Just for fun.
This is where I usually put down my hand and get comfortable.
All right, I think Eric's about to be shown the door here.
I like this. It's more fun this way.
Hopefully, hopefully we get to see it.
You do have another card. Okay, that's all I was worried about. Yeah. Okay, do you have the card in your sideboard to win the game? Would you like to reveal it?
Show it off. Slam it.
No. Oh, dang it.
Is that door to nothing? Oh, there's an old border door to nothingness? Wow, you only got to see it for a second. I didn't even know that. That's pretty cool.
Brothers War.
Are Cat and Oven both from Eldraine? Of course they are.
They are. Yes. Incredibly frustrating in draft, in standard, in pioneer, in modern sometimes.
Yeah. In
yes.
fake formats like historic, it's
That's
banned.
right. That's right. Did they really ban Cat Oven in
I'm
historic?
pretty sure, yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. I don't follow arena formats super close, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. All right.
What a miserable, miserable thing that is. Well, anyway, well done, Devin, winning the game.
Whoops.
Both
I added-
clearly and quickly.
I figured you have like 3 amulets. I'm like,
Is Timeless Amulet our new savior to rid the format of Cascade Crashers?
Probably.
Oh, good.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Good. Devin, thank you. Thank you for the companion token.
Yeah. I will say that it is pretty epic to show people the door in Modern.
It is.
Usually only something you see in EDH.
You can leave.
Yeah.
There it is.
This is basically, I mean, Golos banned in EDH, so...
Which is still a concept that doesn't make a ton of sense to me, like banning cards in a casual format.
Oh, he's actually not going to reveal Gigantha, and he's bringing in Chalice of the Void. That's interesting. I've never seen. I mean, Spike's version definitely didn't. I'm pretty sure didn't have chalices for that reason, or maybe he just always kept them in the board.
Is this matchup? Is Gigantha that important in this matchup?
I would say not.
It's not a
Although
very
this is a very good Gigantha deck, though, in general.
You make a lot of mana.
Yeah.
You need a donkey to block with or win the game sometimes.
Well, it also like taps for Wooburg,
True.
which actually like is surprisingly relevant in this deck.
Right.
Um,
It is a dork as well as a
Right.
5/5.
Right. You can tap it and make your Escape to the Wilds mana a little bit, some of it.
Yeah, some of it.
You can use it all for door mana.
You can. And
Not-
Golos and all
And
that.
Golos, yeah.
Yeah. Golos is a pretty cool card. I remember when that card was printed and Green Tron was playing a Golos and a Cascading Cataract.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like that quite a bit.
Yeah, that seems cool. Yeah, Golos definitely a sweet one. Sweet design. Meant for EDH, was not to be.
Right.
We get to play it in Modern instead.
Do you have thoughts on the Temur versus 5-color Rhinos decisions?
I guess the Temur thing mostly comes down to Blood Moon would be my guess.
It's like Leyline Binding versus Blood Moon.
Yeah, and I suspect that Blood Moon, I mean, I think that Rhinos needs Blood Moon
Yeah.
to like, there are just some matchups that like become so much better when you have Blood Moon in your deck.
Like this one, for example.
Like this one, or like also like Saga decks. Like, 'cause Saga can just make constructs that are bigger than your Rhinos, and then you're cooked.
Yeah.
And in a situation like that, Blood Moon can bail you out.
Right.
So I think that that's probably what it comes down to.
God, I love Blood Moon. What a good Magic card.
Agree to disagree.
Well, all right. That's fair.
it's okay. We're taking enough time.
It was printed at a time when they thought that giving things Mountain Walk would be cute.
Yeah. And you know what?
They were right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Ensnaring Bridge, Blood Moon. Cards that would not be printed these days.
Yeah.
Didn't help me last time.
And that's a shame. It's a damn shame.
All right.
Hey,
Well,
look at that.
we don't have an amulet, but we have a Saga. So I think this is probably a keep from Devin's side.
And Blood Moon has caught my eye, but I'm not sure how many lands Eric has over here. We see a Triumph.
I'm just gonna have them do it.
Oh, they can reset there.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
suppose we could have done that. But
Yeah.
Don't empower their poor behavior.
You didn't hear that, chat. You didn't hear that. Devin without colored mana on turn 1, so that Grazer looks maybe
I
a little
think so.
funky.
When I watched Spike play this deck, he always sandbagged his Grazers as
Okay.
like rituals.
Hmm.
So especially in this matchup where your opponent's not going to play like a Ragavan on one anyway.
Sure, that's fair.
I think that that's actually perfectly fine.
Okay.
Your turn. Upkeep. I like to cast ice. Right. Wow, how do you know I had something on the
Ice. NBA fans out there, Tom Thibodeau has been called ice. Sorry, this is a Magic stream. I apologize.
Ooh. All right, we're gonna see Blood Moon. I've actually beaten Rhinos when they cast Blood Moon because they lock themselves out.
It can happen, and it doesn't look like Eric has a fetch land. I expect if he did, he would have gotten the forest right
Yeah,
away.
I think he might have just kept his hand on the strength of Blood Moon, which is
Yeah.
perfectly reasonable.
Yeah.
But it is awkward sometimes in your 3-color deck. Sometimes you just don't draw fetch lands, and then the Blood Moon creates a fun experience for everyone at the table.
Yeah. Choosing not to Blood Moon.
Uh,
Okay, so we're gonna try to make Rhinos and then Blood Moon.
Yeah, I suppose this might be the play to win rather than the play not to lose line,
Sure.
which is respectable.
Right. It does mean that Devin gets an amulet in play, which is obviously less important with Blood Moon, but your Timeless Lotus still gets
Yeah,
triggered
and he's
by
also going to have
amulet.
double amulet now, so he might just be able to win this turn.
Right.
Is the other thing.
Fair. I had not considered that.
I'm not going to respond.
All right, Eric really.
2 amulets. There's the bounce.
Triggers are good. Red, green, yep.
All right, we have our hand is stacked.
Pretty juiced.
Yeah.
Even I can tell.
We're gonna get Explorer into Grazer or Grazer into Explorer, and Grazer is like a Dark Ritual here. It's better than a Dark Ritual. It's a
It has a butt.
well, it also makes +3.
Right.
It's like
And this, you have a trigger. Yes, you're good. So, red, green, yes.
So probably Eric should have chosen to not lose the game.
yeah.
And I mean, it's a very defensible. Like,
Yeah,
if you're
no,
not familiar with the deck, you're
yeah.
like, my opponent is going to have 1 land.
Right.
Like, yeah, they have an amulet, but
Yeah. All right, so +4 again. So now we're up to 9 mana. All right, Escape to the Wilds is actually Escape to the Wilds is -1 mana here.
well,
But
there's
also
Lotus in hand also.
Oh, is there?
Yes.
Okay.
So choosing to net more mana. Yeah, there's a Lotus in hand. Looking for maybe another amulet.
Yes.
Goodness.
Now you play that storm dinosaur and crack you.
Still, Storm continues to be one. Just taking game actions.
Right.
This is Timeless Lotus.
All right. If we have a Force of Negation, we could try to.
No force in hand.
I guess we would have probably already cast it, but
Yeah. There's a mystical.
this would be a pretty juicy one to try to target.
Yeah. No hard counter spells, it looks like, from Eric.
So, Timeless Lotus, we should point out also is like even if Eric gets through this turn alive somehow, now he has Wooburg to play through Blood Moon.
Yep.
So glad I have these.
So this deck is, this deck is way worse against artifact removal specifically than like stock Amulet Titan.
Sure.
But there are some like advantages you can see like it's more linear and
Yes, more linear than Ambient.
right, and it's like sometimes you have situations where you can play through Blood Moon easier. Not all with all hands, but in some situations. All right, so we're casting Golos. This will probably get Lotus Field, but I mean Devin's hand is like an embarrassment of riches anyway, so I don't know that he even needs to do that. All right, there's Lotus Field, but he's shuffled past that, so maybe just considering a regular bounce land.
Another Gardens.
Oh, that's interesting as well. Yeah, that's another option.
Yeah.
Does that represent more mana here? I guess he doesn't have another land drop. Well, he has Escape to the Wilds. So if he gets the 3rd amulet, then Escape to the Wilds is +1 mana, but also he's got to pay a mana to actually
Make the amulet off of the Gardens.
right.
Who would have thought Mycosynth Gardens? Powerful magic card.
Yeah.
6 mana total, and then with the trigger on the stack. Yes. I'm not responding to it entering the battlefield. Or the triggers.
And
So I'll make 3 blue.
Eric has a response to the first untap trigger.
Oh, sorry, 3 blue and 3 red. Sacrifice.
No, okay. Maybe I misunderstood.
Yeah, I think he was contemplating something, but then decided.
Gotcha. I know it looks. I'm pretty sure he has a Brazen Borrower, and he does have a Brazen Borrower in hand, and a Blood Moon, and Outburst.
Yeah, I think he just really wanted to make Rhinos this turn and is
Yeah. Regretting it.
regretting all his life decisions. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
which
fair.
is fair. You know,
Yeah.
we've all been there.
3, 4.
Not me. I always resolve Blood Moon whenever I can.
That's also fair.
Yeah.
But sometimes you end up regretting that.
Yeah. No, that's never happened to me.
Uh-oh. Oh, baby. Stopped it.
All right, there's another amulet.
Another amulet. Gross.
I have another amulet. I have 1 land drop from the escape.
All right, he's got a land drop left because Escape to the Wilds is an Explorer.
Gets the bounce land.
So now this is +6.
4 and 4. Pick itself up. Sure.
Did he?
So 8 mana floating.
Right, +6. Yeah, I can't do math anymore. This is.
This is the issue that you were talking about
Yeah.
when you introduced this deck.
Yeah.
That it's
I know,
much
I understand where you're going.
harder to track in paper.
Yeah. All right, Azusa gonna be mana positive.
Yeah, pretty powerful.
All right, I mean I guess Azusa gives is an interaction point, so maybe you'd prefer not to.
Is anyone familiar with the card Zozu
The Punisher.
the Punisher?
Yeah, that would be pretty good here.
Okay, good. Just checking.
It's an Ankh of Mishra on a 2/2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
Something that you can kill.
All right, Devin pointing out that he's casting something that Eric can kill. It doesn't matter because even if he gets just the 1 land drop, it's still going to be mana positive, and if he gets both of them, it's
Yeah.
ridiculously mana positive.
And I'll do it again. So 1, 2, 3. So 6 more mana of each. Sure.
All right, +12, pretty good.
Normal.
Yeah,
things
normal
happening.
things. All right, so we have 9,
There's the card.
17. I think we have enough to show him the door now. Oh, we need 2 of. Oh, we still have Timeless Lotus untapped. So yeah, we have way enough.
Yep.
I'll show you the door. Okay, you have a door. I will cast the said door. So I spend 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Enters the battlefield, trigger on the stack for untapping.
I did not know there was an old border version of this card. It's pretty
So
sweet.
could Eric Borrower the door? Does Devin have enough mana to do it again?
Interesting question. I don't know. I didn't do the math. He could borrow it in response to the ETB trigger. That's true. The
He
untap
doesn't get to
trigger.
Rhinos also the
Right.
time stuff.